protein powder is a must-have if you're actually training. I'm not truly interested in trying to like convince somebody who's never taken protein to try and, consume ours, because I think there's just a little bit too much information that might overwhelm them to even consider listening. And so we just don't try to play the price game, play the flavor game of getting somebody into taking supplements for the first time, because realistically, to compete at that level, you're not into the mindset of somebody who actually truly wants to understand supplements and what is actually best. It's kind of like somebody's first car. You're not going to try and sell them on, all the attributes of a high performance machine. They just want to get in and drive the car. But when it comes down to your investment, it is important that you understand what type of protein is best, because not all protein powder is the same. Beef protein is one of those buzzword type of products that is in the marketplace where people think like, hey, I'm getting a natural source of beef protein. It must be good. And, with the health craze that is going to start happening, I predict that within the next 12 months, we're going to have a health frenzy, which is phenomenal. So with that, just beware. There's going to be so many companies and so many people and so many experts out there trying to take advantage of the assertiveness that I really believe the Western culture is going to start taking when it comes to their health and their fitness. So please beware of those companies out there, which is fine, and I'm all for that, but it's important to understand that before this boom happens, that you really understand what you're getting. And beef protein is one of those products that you have to be cautious of, not in the sense that it's bad, but in the sense of knowing what it is. Beef protein isn't like taking a steak or chicken or salmon or any other type of protein that is a food and grinding it up and making a powder out of it. Beef protein or protein, animal type of protein powder is the collagen. It is lower in amino acids, so it's not like they're grinding up. You can't do that. It's lower in natural occurring amino acids, which means that you don't get the insulin spike that you actually need when it comes to providing your body with utilizing the protein that is otherwise going to help build muscle. Look, there's no secret sauce when it comes down to the best form of protein are whey protein isolates, casein protein, milk protein isolates. That's the type of protein when it comes to supplements that you want to be consuming. And the reason why those proteins are so important is because they do different things and the quality of them is very high. When you're consuming a normal whey protein that you buy from Costco or you buy from Walmart, or even the majority of the protein powders that are found in some of the specialty stores like GNC, Vitamin Shop or Amazon or someplace where you shop, you got to understand that whey protein concentrate is also problematic because it is a lower percentage of protein, higher percentage of lactose. And why is that a problem? It's problematic because if you've ever had issues with taking protein because it causes stomach issues, it causes gastrointestinal issues, you're running to the bathroom, plus you're not getting that higher percentage of protein in your body, a lot of people avoid protein for that reason alone. So in the Western society, especially in the American culture, people are either moderate to severely lactose intolerant. I have friends. I'm one of them myself. I used to take MuscleTex Phase 8. That was my favorite protein before we owned the supplement company, before I understood exactly what to look for. And I would go to my business partner, Dr. Jim Stepani, who formulated all these products, in an attempt to try and have him help me. And he said, look, that's whey protein concentrate. You're having issues because there's the percentage of protein is actually lower. These are the magazines that he actually wrote, the supplement guide. So he would go in and he would break these things down. I just never took the time to really analyze what was in here because I had him as an authority to go up and just ask. So when it comes to certain protein powders, it is so important that you understand. And the difference is this. The difference is that the whey protein isolates, the milk protein isolates are very good sources of protein because the percentage of protein is higher, the byproducts of lactose and carbs is removed, so you're getting the majority of just pure whey protein. And because it comes from milk, because it is a whey protein, the amino acid structure is high in there. And the important part about that is that when you have naturally occurring amino acids like leucine, it spikes insulin and it helps drive the protein in to the muscle to do its job. That's the problem with most plant proteins. Most plant proteins don't have a naturally occurring amino acid structure to them. So if they don't list amino acids that have been added in, you got to add more amino acids into the plant protein because they don't have a natural source of amino acid structure. And so a lot of the plant proteins out there, they're utilizing the fact of people thinking that they're getting something pure, something fresh, something natural. And that might be well and true, but the problem is they don't understand the synergies of adding other things and other ingredients in there to make sure that that protein source is doing its job the way that it actually should. So when you want to try and buy protein, beef protein, understand this. All beef protein is. It is not steak. It is not salmon. It is not chicken ground up and then put into a protein powder. That sounds great. All that is, it's the cartilage. It's more collagen. So you're not getting the source of beef, and the amino acid structure in there is very low. So while you might be thinking, I'm getting, my beef protein, I don't need to eat a steak, that is absolutely false. It is not that. It is something completely different. So the solution is to just pick up a natural protein powder that comes from whey protein isolate or casein protein, and having those together does something to where it extends the window of muscle protein synthesis, which means your body's ability to build muscle during that window. Is that if you have a fast digesting protein that gets into the system like a whey protein isolate, and then you have a slower digesting protein like a casein protein, you extend that window of muscle protein synthesis, getting the best source of protein that is mostly in all 90% or better just protein powder. So avoid the plant protein unless it is a plant protein like ours, which has additional amino acids added into it so that the plant protein can do its job, because you have the amino acids in there that aren't naturally occurring. Beef protein, if you want to take it, fine, but just understand it's not as good as a whey protein because the amino acid structure is lower, and it's not beef, it's not chicken, it is not salmon. It is mostly collagen or the joints and things like that that are within their ground up, and that's just something that you really have to be aware of as we step into this healthy stride that I really think is going to start happening within the next 12 months. Please, please, please educate yourself, and that is exactly what Gym Supplement Science is here to do, not just to make sure that you guys buy our products, but to make sure that you guys actually have the information so you can make the right decisions. I don't care if you buy our products. I don't really care, right? If you want results, I hope that you do. But somebody who's going to argue and say, oh, you guys, I have no business even taking the time to try and deal with the low-informed supplement consumers. That's the reason why our products, our brand, are actually formulated by the only legitimate research scientist who has been writing about supplements for the past 25 years before we even had a supplement brand. Somebody who took the time to do the work, who studied at Yale, who was actually hired in the Yale School of Medicine, the John B. Pierce Laboratory in the 90s to do his postdoctoral research, who was an award-winning scientist who understood supplements, not from the standpoint of just the science and application of the studies, but utilizing them for himself, getting recruited from Joe Weider, who started this whole entire industry, who brought Arnold Schwarzenegger over here and actually got him started in the United States, founded the Mr. Olympia, founded Muscle and Fitness, was the legitimate first brand, Weider Supplements, if you guys all remember. We're here because of him. That guy hired Dr. Jim Stoppani to be the senior science editor and write for the titles of Muscle and Fitness and Men's Fitness and Shape and Fit Pregnancy and Flex Magazine and Muscle and Fitness Hers. He's the guy who's been doing this for the last 25 years. I'm proud to say that he is my business partner who does the formulation. So if you want the right source of information, if you want the information that's going to help you, and if you want the products that are going to provide the results that are guaranteed to deliver based on the promises a company should be making, you have no other choice than to go with the one company in the industry, and that is Gym Supplement Science.